where will we start?
She looks like.
We're not sure.
And I think they'd exit from that way. Oh, they exit from yeah. That was there last Tuesday. We exited from that portion of the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she thought my birthday was on the 6th when it was on the 5th.
That'd be great. Yeah, there's really no good way.
Yeah, like when
They're probably doing it on purpose.
Like I did this on this site block. So I think she got off at 7. And so she She was like, she thought we were engaged. She thought Brad Pitt was it was all this crazy shit. But she drove from North Carolina to my house. I don't know.
Mic check.
Yeah. Do you mind stepping on my mic over there? Over there?
I'm trying to get mic tested too.
Yeah, everybody wants to test.
I'm trying to get
You
tested.
gotta get a reporter to do it. We don't have any.
Would it be okay if I got in between you two? Just for a shot.
I don't know.
You can try, yeah. You can put it back there.
Like everybody, like, I go get somebody. I'll go first.
Oh, you're fine. I think we got a while. We can just ask one of the photographers to do it if we need to. Still photographers.
I was about to ask him at the since he's standing.
He could also do it, yeah. True.
Excuse me. You are talking those mic. Are you about to go on?
No. 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check.
There you go. Nothing yet. The hearing was due to begin just a minute ago. I can't even confirm that it did begin at the appointed time. They let in about 30 observers in there. We have a producer in there, but they have to surrender all their electronic devices. So we're not being given any updates of what's going on or the proceedings. So we'll just have to wait. When someone emerges, we'll know it's over and we'll know what the judge has decided. But so much is on the line here. And you know, it's an interesting thing. You wonder, why are we in Louisiana anyway? Mahmoud Khalil lives in New York, that's where he was arrested. He was then taken briefly to the detention facility in New Jersey, and that's where the federal court case on the constitutionality of all this is playing out right now. But what the government did, just they bundled them off, as they have done so many people, straight to Louisiana. They've done them into immigration, deportation. This is a different system to the federal court system. This is a system which has slightly different rules, and amongst them this indication here that the Secretary of State is using, that he can deport someone just because he has decided, without any evidence whatsoever, that the person is detrimental to the U.S.'s foreign policy interests. That also does show that not only then are they deportations of this here in Louisiana, a long way away, there's also the psychological impact of that on people, the fact that they don't have a support network, people are sent here. These are notorious facilities known for terrible abuse of detainees. It's an enormous part of the prison industrial complex, the private prison industrial complex. It grew up, frankly, under Barack Obama. It remains the deporter-in-chief. The president has deported the most people. So there's that. And so these companies, Geo in this particular case, very well personally connected. Tons of money going into Washington to make sure people come to places like this. But it's also, there's a view to the long term here. Because the case that's currently in play in New Jersey will then end up, if through the appeals process of the First Circuit Court of Appeals, which is thought to be perhaps potentially more liberal, you know, the northern East Coast liberal. As the appeals process works its way through in Louisiana, then the government will find itself, assuming that they're losing either way, which is not known, then they will end up in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is much more conservative, much more open to the idea of deporting people. So even there, you perhaps think that the Trump administration had that long view in mind when they took Khalil here. They're looking at this as a real test case now, as to the limits of their ability to deport people without a shred of evidence of wrongdoing. Sure. Not the now when I'm sitting there, okay, we're hoping this will go well. observers were allowed in to the hearing, but they had to surrender their electronic devices. It's been on for about an hour. The actual legal arguments that are taking place online. This is a virtual court, in part because it's so far away from anywhere else. Again, partly by design to make sure that people don't necessarily have legal representation in person. We haven't heard anything yet. We were expecting this hearing not necessarily to take too long, an hour and a half. Basically, what's being discussed should be relatively easy for the judge to rule upon. The judge had given the government till Wednesday evening to come up with firm evidence that, as the government and the Secretary of State is arguing, Mahmoud Khalil's mere presence in the United States completely derails American foreign policy goals. And what the government came up with on Wednesday evening was a 1.5-page memo which said, well, we accept the law. And so the Secretary of State is using a statute in the Immigration and Nationality Act 1992, but a statute that was revised in 1990, specifically with protection for freedom of speech and association. More on that later. But anyway, the Secretary of State basically sort of quoted bits of that statute saying, look, we accept that we need to give you more evidence than simply saying that someone's lawful constitutional right to speak out in the past or in the future is against our foreign policy. We need to give you some kind of compelling reason for what's actually happening, how this person is derailing U.S. foreign policy, not some potentiality of something in the future, which may well be constitutionally protected, but they're not going to. Basically, the Secretary of State just said, the Secretary of State, that's the requirement. The Secretary of State has to personally determine that this is a danger to the United States' foreign policy goals. They said, look, the Secretary of State has decided that. Then they cited what they call Khalil's presence and what they call anti-Semitic protest. Anti-Semitic meaning anti-genocide in the rest of the civilized world. So this is how the U.S. is characterized. And therefore, he is against a key foreign policy goal, which is combating anti-Semitism around the world, and that's why he needs to be deported immediately. But they didn't give any concrete evidence of what anti-Semitic conduct perhaps the Khalil is or isn't actually accused of. All Khalil was doing clearly was he was the spokesperson for the Columbia University protests against the genocide, one of the few who didn't wear a mask. And that was seized upon by various extremist Israeli groups, extremist alumni groups who are very pro-Israel or pro-genocide apparently, treating Israel there, fine by them. So this was someone to seize upon. And I've got some of these folks are very well connected, very rich alumnus of Columbia University, investment bankers who are very close to the administration. Miriam Adelson, who gave $100 million famously to Donald Trump, one of an organization that she's very closely connected to, were specifically saying this man has to be deported. He is, he's come up. No evidence provided, and Marco Rubio was even tagged in some of these posts, and it seemed to have worked. Rubio did act, and that's what's so interesting is, as we've reported in the past, Khalil then suddenly gets a visit from ICE agents. You don't realize he is on the green card holder. Extremist groups who are alerted to him haven't even done the research. They just thought he was some student on Columbia University, so we can just deport him. No, you can't. He's agreed to equal permanent residence. So that got things a bit more complicated. But the administration seems to have seized this possibility now, because now they have a test case here in Louisiana. So whether this statute says this man has to be deported because the Secretary of State has made a personal decision and a judgment that he's detrimental to the U.S. foreign policy interests, whether even a green card holder, even a permanent resident holder, potentially even then in the future a naturalized citizen, whether they can all be deported on the state of the Secretary of State without providing any evidence to back up the claim that that person is detrimental to foreign policy. And that's why it's an even bigger story now, because that's an enormous amount of power. And it's very much a case of, first they came for the anti-genocide protest, then they came for who next? What if the Secretary of State says, well, it's the foreign policy goal now to have blanket tariffs on the rest of the world. So-and-so is against those tariffs. And we won't tell you why, but this particular person needs to go now because it's detrimental to our foreign policy. What's next? That's the question. And we don't know how this judgment is going to rule
So I put a big battery in it. I charged all of it last night, so I was on 100%. So my internal battery is on 100. I think that is probably going to give me, that battery might give me another hour to 30 minutes, and then it's going to start eating all my internal battery. But if that's the case, I'm going to hurry and go, I'm going to switch the batteries out and put them on the charger. I love chargers. Y'all have inverters in our cars, but you got to start the car. So I have a charger for those big batteries. Charger. Yeah. They hook that man up, that man ain't got no batteries.
That's his job. He's got to do his batteries.
You know, every time, every hurricane season I go, I say, this, so this is what I need. I need a charger for this.
Checklist.
You don't know where you go end up in a hurricane.
For real. It's like the same truck parked out.
My coworker got stuck in the ditch
That one's
last
been there a
week.
while, right?
My coworker got stuck in the ditch last time he came.
Okay.
He called the people, the tow truckers, because he said it was muddy, so he couldn't get out. They told him $450. Guess what he did? He said, I'm gonna call you back. He said, I went the he said, I was like, man, let me go look at how his tires fit. He said, I looked. I said, if I hit the gas real hard backwards, it might get out. And it came out.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice.
I said,
I mean, yeah, that's what those things cost.
but you don't want to deal with that if you have to leave, especially with somebody like you got a flight. Imagine being stuck.
Yeah, that did happen to me once. I was in Michigan and they called a tow truck, but a guy with a pickup came and got me before the tow truck got there. The tow truck was mad because he lost money.
That ain't my problem. Should have made it.
Yeah, it took him about 20 minutes, and the guy with the pickup was like, hey, you need somebody to take you out? And I was like, yeah. He did it, and he left. He didn't need more money or anything. He just left.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, I was like, all right, whatever. Thanks, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that tow truck was mad when he.
He was like, dude, we got dispatched for nothing. It's like,
Oh well, some things happen like that. We go to stores all the time and we'll have a seat.
yeah, he'll be fine. Yeah, it's funny. Gosh, I didn't expect this. Oh no, I'm here. I mean, I'm just gonna miss the flight then. Just have to what you call it? Book another one. Since it's live, I think we have people watching it.
Oh, I know you loving this weather. And it's cold in Chicago right now.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
40s. Yeah.
That's cold to us.
I was saying,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
where I'm from. Yeah.
That
It's
is
really
cold.
not. Yeah, I'm fine with it. You know, the thing is, everywhere's got something. Like I come down here and like there's just an orange dust out here. I noticed that like some places. Like it's just like this pollen.
Okay, thank
We
you.
don't have that up there. Or maybe that's more. I think of South Carolina. When I go down here, my car gets dirty faster. Yeah, it is good. We got some good stuff, but not the same kind of stuff. We got more, a lot more Mexican places probably than we do, but you guys have more Cajun and Creole. Yeah, we got a lot of Italian up there. Yeah. Oh yeah, we have a whole neighborhood called Little Italy that just they
Don't
pump
y'all
out.
have like a chicken place everybody talk about in Chicago?
We have a few Harold's. Harold's
Yeah,
big.
Harold's.
We've got Uncle Remus. Yeah, there's a few that broke out and went to Atlanta. Now Atlanta thinks they know about chicken wings before us.
You from Chicago?
Born and raised, yeah.
You went to Northwestern?
No. I know. I went to U of Illinois, an in-state school. Yeah, it's a great school. Yeah, no, I didn't go there.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, for me it was more so about its college experience. I just visited U of I and I knew it was more of a vibe. I fit with more. Northwestern's diversity isn't really all the way there yet. They got a great journalism journalism school. Yeah, I'm really good friends with one of the professors there. They got a great journalism
Where?
school.
That's why I always ask.
Northwestern.
If you're from Chicago, I figured when you want to go into journalism,
Northwestern.
seems like Northwestern.
I remember I almost went to DePaul.
Mizzou is pretty close too, though.
Yeah, Mizzou is.
I almost went to
it's a good
DePaul,
school.
but I went to DePaul. I was going to go to
basketball
DePaul for theater at
Oh,
first.
yeah, they got that.
For theater, and then I realized Dillard had a theater program here, and I stayed.
Dillard?
I went to Dillard University.
Dillard, okay, gotcha.
Oh, there's some movement.
Okay, let's see. Which side?
Left.
Okay. Oh, I see
Oh,
him.
I do. Let me switch out my batteries
I'm not
right
tall
now.
enough to see that.
I'm switch my batteries out right now just in case.
I don't think it's real crazy. It's just to see that.
I see.
They're coming out already. Good.
Y'all see some movement coming out that gate. Yeah, they running.
Oh, they're running.
They're running on foot right now.
I need to go up.
Look, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Thanks. Sorry.
Oh, I just was.
Oh, you're fine.
Just that letter we all saw.
There we go. Got it. Is she crying? Yeah, they're just taking their time. Tough shoot. A weird angle. Let's see. I feel like I see some emotional faces. So let's see.
I'm assuming they're supporting.
Yes.
For his release.
Yes.
So I'm guessing it's not.
we're just supporting that.
That
Verbal
one
one
is
is
well, yes.
It's being feels like released, but
It's okay. No, it's not you. It's okay.
This guy went Duck City.
You got some quick reflexes.
I was literally wondering that. I was like,
Plus she.
Maybe if I just turn and everybody just turn.
Sharice.
Get off the shot. Look, she did the same thing I did.
It's okay. I'm joking. Yeah, I'm just waiting for Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. Good job. I appreciated that. Dodging
Yeah,
bullets.
good.
It didn't feel like he was going home energy when they came out. So that's all right. We're good.
Appreciate you, my friend.
I know you probably live still or something. So.
Well, you're fine. You're good. You're good right there. I'm tight. I'm tight on them. So you do your thing. Get your shot.
Oh no, I'm just sitting here, just waiting.
Where's your
That's why I'm like, I'll stay on this side because if I walk back,
Where's your network guy? I don't see him.
I saw him in the truck. He says,
I think he's on the other side. He's getting. I see him.
so they probably like.
Yeah, he's up yet.
They didn't give any concrete evidence, any evidence whatsoever of wrongdoing. But what he said was he accepted in the act that there is Immigration Nationality Act, the Foreign Policy Deportation Grounds clause, which was added specifically to protect people from deportation, constitutionally protected freedoms, he accepted it. There was that safe harbor for speech and free association. He accepted in the letter that he has done nothing illegal in the past or potentially in the future. But what the letter said was, I have made the personal determination that Khalil's presence is against our foreign policy objectives, and then Rubio cited the foreign policy objective of eradicating anti-Semitism around the world. He said anti-genocide protests at London University characterized those as anti-Semitic, an unsafe environment for Jewish students at Columbia University. Therefore,
le meilleur normalement. Point. La piste 1 devrait être la meilleure. Point. Sinon, virgule, tentez la 2 avec un autre micro.
Microphone, John. I don't really know. How about I use like this one?
How far away?
All right, this audio's good.
Yeah, are they coming behind you?
Press conference. Yeah.
Just be careful with the road.
Yeah, stay out of the road.
Focus on me.
I'll speak
You
up.
can come in, come closer. Come. So breathing into the food.
Sure, I'm just MC. So. But sure, my name's Zach Kopke and I live in New Orleans. I'm a member of Jewish Voice for Peace. ZACHKOPKIN. We good? Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming to this press conference. I'm going to go over the agenda, the speakers that you'll be hearing in a moment. Sorry about that. First, we're going to hear a short update of what happened inside from a member of Mahmoud's legal team. Then we'll hear statements from Mahmoud's support team, as well as the Southeast Dignity, Not Detention Coalition and Palestinian Youth Movement New Orleans. We'll also hear from several faith leaders on why they're here today. Please save your legal questions for the virtual press conference later this afternoon. So first, a message from Mahmoud.
Hi all, my name is Sabreen Mohammed and I will now read a statement on behalf of Mahmoud Khalil's support team. Today, an immigration judge ruled that Mahmoud can be removed from this country. A decision as unjust as it is alarming. Despite the government's failure to prove that Mahmoud broke any law, the court has decided that lawful permanent residents can have their status revoked for pro-Palestine advocacy. This is a blatant violation of the First Amendment and a dangerous precedent for anyone who believes in free speech and political expression. But this decision should not pacify you, it should embolden and encourage you. Those who know Mahmoud know him for his fierce commitment to justice and his refusal to back down from even the steepest of challenges. It is Mahmoud's fighting spirit that we must embrace in the following days. While his deportation would devastate his wife and their soon-to-be-born child, it would also intimidate all who dare to speak for Palestinian liberation. In recent weeks, this repression has only intensified, with the visas of students presumed to be pro-Palestine being revoked daily. We must not give in to this chilling effect for Mahmoud, for Domesa, for Badr Khan Suri, and for hundreds of others. Mahmoud is currently imprisoned in Louisiana, a state that detains over 7,000 people daily and serves as the second largest hub for immigration detention in the U.S. Louisiana's 9 detention centers, 8 of which are privately operated, include the only ICE facility in the country directly connected to an airport, thus streamlining mass deportations. Across the state, abuse runs rampant. Detainees face solitary confinement, rotting food, medical neglect, and sexual assault. This system is fueled by corporate greed. GEO Group, the private prison company caging Mahmoud, earned over $1 billion from ICE contracts in 2022, while paying detainees less than $1 a day. Profits bolstered by retirement and 401k investments made by everyday people, often unknowingly. At the end of today's hearing, Mahmoud stated the following: I would like to quote what you said last time, that there's nothing that's more important to this court than due process rights and fundamental fairness. Clearly, what we witnessed today, neither of these principles were present. today or in this whole process. This is exactly why the Trump administration has sent me to this court 1,000 miles away from my family. I just hope that the urgency that you deemed fit for me is afforded to the hundreds of others who have been here without hearing for months. This is the site of Mahmoud's imprisonment behind us, and yet even from within its walls, he sends you his gratitude for showing up today, for refusing to look away. Your presence here is a declaration. We will not accept the criminalization of dissent against genocide. Free Mahmoud, free all of Gina's prisoners, and free Palestine.
We'll now hear from two members of the Southeast Dignity Not Detention Coalition with a message for us.
Hi, good afternoon. We're here today to deliver a statement from the Southeast Dignity Not Detention Coalition, a Gulf South alliance of immigrants, children of immigrants, organizers, legal workers, and advocates committed to ending immigrant detention. We are deeply disappointed and angry about the result of today's hearing and utter denial of Mahmoud's due process rights and humanity. We want to say that regardless of their decisions, we will continue fighting for Mahmoud and for all the people detained by the immigrant detention system. Today and every day, we call for the abolition of this country's inhumane detention system, starting with the 11 centers in our region, the majority of which are run by for-profit prison corporations. We denounce the conversion of Louisiana prisons, like the one behind us, into ICE jails, continuing a legacy of racialized control and dehumanization in this state. We know that these southern prisons, built specifically for the enslavement and torture of Black people, were valiantly shut down by organizers in Black liberation struggle in order to end mass incarceration, not to become a cage for other bodies. Our people deserve better than to have their futures at the whims of private prison corporations, uncaring of our communities.
We stand in solidarity with Mahmoud Khalil, Ramessa Ozturk, Badr Khan Suri, Ali Reza Daroudi, and all others trapped in the system. They are political prisoners, among many others, fighting a struggle to be free while isolated far from legal support, family, and community. Our struggles are deeply interconnected. The tools of border militarization used against immigrants here were first tested on Palestinians abroad. And long before the ICE detention industry came to us, the first detention center in Louisiana popped up an hour and a half away from here in Oakdale, Louisiana, out of a plan to detain Arab and Muslim non-citizens in secret, a plan that was exposed during the LA 8 trials of Palestinian student protesters in 1987. And even though this plan was not enacted, its racist and Islamophobic scheme for isolation and denial of due process is deeply embedded into every part of the modern detention system. We come here today to say whether someone is asylum seeking, a green card holder, a student, undocumented, Black, Indigenous, Palestinian, Latino, we are united in our struggles. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us.
We refuse to be silent. We will not stop until every detention center is shut down and every person is free. Free Mahmoud Khalil, free Palestine, and free them all.
We'll now hear a statement from the New Orleans chapter of the Palestinian Youth Movement.
My name is Hakam from the Palestinian Youth Movement of New Orleans. I'll remind us today that Mahmoud Khalil is not just a name on a case. He's a loving husband, a soon-to-be father, and now a political prisoner in front of a kangaroo court. Let's be absolutely clear about what's happening. Mahmoud was abducted by the United States government for daring to speak out against a genocide that this very government has been actively funding and facilitating. The courtroom we just left tells a damning story. The federal government has failed to present even a shred of evidence against Mahmoud, yet they still plan to deport him. Why? Because he exercised his First Amendment rights, the very freedoms this country claims to hold sacred. Maybe they are for some, but not all. Make no mistake, Mahmoud's case transcends one man's struggle. This case lays bare the hypocrisy at the heart of our system. The United States professes to champion due process, freedom of speech, and the presumption of innocence, while simultaneously denying those very rights to an entire segment of our population. At the whims of a Secretary of State who writes a 2-page letter that is both undated and unsubstantiated. What was their crime? Vocal opposition to genocide? Their offense? Actively working to stop the slaughter of people in Gaza and across Palestine? The targeting of Mahmoud Khalil, Rumesa Ozturk, Ali Reza Daroudi, and the others abducted by the state is not a national security issue. It's about instilling fear. It's about scaring the American public into submission so they won't speak out against the US-funded occupation of Palestine and this regime's ongoing genocide in Gaza. But we are here today to deliver a message. These tactics will fail. Our movement remains strong, and it grows stronger with each act of repression. We will continue to speak up, to organize, and take the streets until our demands are met. We will not allow fear to control us. Because remaining true to our principles is what Mahmoud and the other political prisoners have shown us matters the most. I remind you, after hearing the verdict from a kangaroo court that was predetermined before the case even began, Mahmoud left us with a message. He said, please show the urgency that you had for this case, for the hundreds of prisoners detained and locked up behind us. He had the empathy to care about others in a moment that should have been about him, about injustice that happened to him. These are the people that this government decides that should be deported. The Trump administration, we say, the people are not afraid. We refuse to be silent in the face of your attacks on working people and the movement for Palestine. As the past months of speeches and actions from Mahmoud and Palestine have proven, our movement is only growing stronger and more broad in the face of these immoral attacks. The people, united, will never be defeated because our cause is just, moral, and the truth. Free Mahmoud, free Palestine. Hakam, H-A-K-M, from the Palestinian Youth Movement. Thank you.
We're now going to hear from several faith leaders in our Louisiana communities speaking about why they decided they needed to be here today as well.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The people of the world stand here today in solidarity, not just for our brother Mahmoud Khalil, but for all those who unjustly detained, silenced, and separated from their families. We raise our hands in dua, beseeching Allah, the Most Just, to grant freedom to the oppressed and strength to those who endure trials and patience. Ya Allah, liberate Mahmoud and all political prisoners from the chains of injustice. Restore them to their loved ones and grant them dignity in this life and the after. We will not cower in fear before systems that perpetuate oppression, just like our brother said. We answer to a higher power, Allah, Al-Malik, the King of Kings. Even pharaohs fell when they defied justice, and tyrants throughout history have crumbled before truth. Let us not forget that abducting people, isolating them from their families, and silencing their voices is the hallmark of oppression. This is how Palestinians are treated in their homeland by Israel. stripped of freedom even on their own soil. So we ask, where can a Palestinian truly be free? Prosecuting Mahmoud means the United States is complicit in Israel's ethnic cleansing of Palestine, displacing Palestinians from their homeland only to silence them again when they speak up here. What hypocrisy! You call to remove Gazans to better lands, yet detain them when they speak their minds. Be honest. Deporting him as a safety risk is really about denying Palestinians' existence. This is the evil that you try to hide, or you don't even care to hide anymore. This is why we must stand for a free Palestine, because the moment we stop, then our fight, our cause, and our homeland disappear. Just as they want, justice belongs to Allah alone. May He guide us and protect us as we strive for equity. Ameen.
Good afternoon. My name is Liv, and I'm here as a campus minister and as a proud native of Louisiana. I'm here to speak particularly to Christians, maybe especially my white Christian siblings. Jesus Christ, the very same Jesus we call Savior, the one we will celebrate on Easter in a few days, was first a man from Judea, the land now called Palestine. He was born to a family seeking refuge and fleeing a violent and authoritarian regime. Then, when the police were on his heels, out to kill him, someone who he thought was a friend sold his location to the cops for 30 pieces of silver. That next day, he'd be crucified, killed by empire, in an act of state-sanctioned murder. That ancient story is happening again, siblings. Look around, Christian siblings. It's unfolding now in Palestine, on Columbia's campus, on Tulane's. Here. Christians, who do you want to be in this story? Do you want to be the one who sells information about your immigrant neighbor for 30 pieces of silver? Do you want to be the ones who turn away in compliance when Christ is hanging on the cross? Do you want to be the Roman soldiers responsible for detaining him? Do you want to be the upholders of a rigged court? Who do you want to be in this story? Or, friends, do you want to be the people of the resurrection? The people of that great promise that God's love has come to free us from the sins of Islamophobia, of racism, of white nationalism. Don't you want to be the people of the resurrection? The people of liberation and peace? Hear this brief prayer from Emily Wilkes. God of liberation, hold Mahmoud Khalil, shield him, strengthen him. Let the cruelty of this place never reach his spirit. May it never sever the tether that binds him to his beloved, to his wife, to the child she carries, to the movement that carries him, to the land he loves and loves him back. Let the walls that hold him tremble under the weight of solidarity rising up to meet him. Let the chains that bind him shudder with the promise of a broken yoke. Let justice and love conspire to bring him home. God's power to Mahmoud, to his wife, to Palestine. Free Palestine. May it be so. My name is Liv, L-I-V, Thomas, Thomas.
I'm Reverend Sarah Green, Saragreeen, a Unitarian Universalist community minister. We have a hymn and a spiritual mandate that says, circle round for freedom, circle round for peace. For all of those imprisoned, circle for release. We have been circling around for months and years and decades. What we did here today was circle around. What we will continue to do for as long as it takes, we'll circle around for release. For the end of genocide, for the end of colonization, for a free Palestine, for the release of all political prisoners. We will not stop until every inch, I'm so serious, until every inch of our imagination of how free we could be is realized. We are prepared to be here for a very long time. And our movement is fueled with love, compassion, solidarity, and a fierce and unrelenting imagination of what liberation and what freedom will inevitably be. In Ecclesiastes, there's a quote that talks about there's a time for everything. There's a time for rage, there's a time for protest, there's a time for yelling, there's a time for rest, for celebration, for re-strategizing. But now, as we soak in the words of Mahmoud, it's a time to grieve. Not just for our beloved, but for all of them who are in there. So join me in what could never be long enough, a moment of silence and grief. Ashe.
We've just received a statement from Mahmoud Khalil's wife, Noor Abdallah, so we're going to hear that now.
Today's decision feels like a devastating blow to our family. No person should be deemed removable from their home for speaking out against the killing of Palestinian families, doctors, and journalists. Today in court, the government reiterated the same baseless racist claims about my husband that we have heard time and again in attempts to smear those calling for an end to Israel's brutal genocide in Gaza. My husband is a political prisoner who is being deprived of his rights because he believes Palestinians deserve equal dignity and freedom. There is nothing the government can say about my husband that can silence this truth. This ruling is an indictment of our country's immigration system and does not reflect truth, justice, or the will of the American people. In less than a month, Mahmoud and I will welcome our first child. Until we are reunited, I will not stop advocating for my husband's safe return home.
We'll conclude with a prayer from Reverend Barbara.
I offer this from my tradition, my personal tradition, and I invite you to lift your hearts and spirits and minds to openness to that which calls us to greater things. God of our hearts, of many names and many understandings beyond all of our naming, we gather always hopeful. We gather in expectation. We gather in support. This nation that we live in has such potential and such promise. Every time she steps away from the magnanimity that is that promise, our hearts ache. We have so many things that are unimaginable other places in this world. We are called to be the providers, the protectors, the defenders, the nurturers, the mature, visionary, benevolent guide for this world And when we step away from that, we betray our promise. Guide us back. Hold our courage and compassion that we may grow into the light on the hill that we can be. Amen.
Thank you to everyone for being here. This concludes our press conference. We're not taking any questions at this time, but the legal team has tentatively planned a virtual press conference at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Central. Thank you for being here. Free Palestine. I think we've put that in the press materials that we've sent out, but yeah. Thank you.